This is a study of networks and systems of transportation through the lens of Uber. The application process was more time-consuming than anticipated. Almost all my documents were rejected. My profile photo took 5 tries to get right. After taking my glasses off, getting the right light, making sure everything was perfect, it finally was accepted. My vehicle insurance needed adjustment, which required me contacting my insurance agency and adjusting the format. My vehicle registration was invalid until a future date, whatever that means, and my 360 inspection was rejected, but apparently not required for certification. So after a long and frustrating process, I was finally approved and ready to hit the road. But first, I needed to create a user profile. I added a short bio, some fun facts, and the reason why I drive, to study socioeconomic factors through transportation, and I was ready to go. My first gig was to pick a man and woman up outside of a Meijer in Waterford. I took them back to their apartment and then took the gentleman, whose name is William, to his mom's house. We started discussing his interest in Uber. He told me he had been using Uber as a main method of transportation. He said he even bought an Uber gift card at Meijer that he intended to use throughout the week. He also added that this is a much more expensive way of getting around and that he was just using Uber until he had saved enough money for a car. I dropped him off and went to my second gig of the night. My second gig was to bring a lady from Bloomfield Hills to pick up some of her coworkers in Troy and then go all the way to Roseville to another friend's house for a party. This took a little over an hour in total to complete, but some complications with the Uber app resulted in only half of the ride being recorded. However, she was friendly and I didn't feel bad because I am, after all, doing this for a class assignment. Long story short, there are definitely some issues I encountered while driving. I need to get more familiar with the Uber app and make sure I'm comfortable with using it while driving. I felt kind of nervous too. I'm not yet used to driving strangers around. I kept getting worried about missing a turn or saying something that would add tension to the drive. I also should be more careful about picking when to drive. The night driving doesn't mix well with icy conditions or finding where people's houses are. I made a little bit of money, but spent about 2 hours driving and used almost half a tank of gas. I can't say I see myself doing this job full time. The Friday before my drive, I did a surge map study where I screen captured the Uber map at various times a day. I tried to take a screen capture every hour that I was at work, and the results seemed pretty interesting. I think I'll do the same for other days of the week so I can get an idea of the best money-making opportunities during a normal week. The biggest surge was at 7:45 a.m. It seemed an Uber was needed almost everywhere in Detroit. This reminds me of a discussion I had with the lady from my second Uber gig. She said her son often used Uber to get to and from work. William probably did the same. I wonder how many Uber drivers are on the road in such a surge like this. Can Uber really accommodate all of these requests? I started to think about what really drove the need for a network or a system of transportation. I think of the infrastructure in a city or hub that draws people, something like amenities in a city, and then different factors like time of day or special events that might increase the likeliness of a surge. How can other transportation systems become more efficient? How can different modes of transportation be improved to respond to user location, like Uber and its surge map? And what is the future of transportation in cities like Detroit?